Hi, this is Ike from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today, book is Pluto in the Big Race for 1990. So let's get started. Say, that's a great boxcar, Goofy said. He grinned at Marty and Freddie. I had one just like that when I was your age, he told them. The boys was in Mickey Drive, giving their new boxcar the finishing touch. We made it ourselves, Marty said. He sounded very proud. We are going to take it for a test run pretty soon, Freddie added. Pluto pushed close and sniffed at the order can. Pluto, Freddie cried. You'll get order all over everything. Aren't you going to paint your car before you take it out? Asked Goofy. I painted the one I had, it was red, and it had silver wheels. We'll paint it blue once we have saved up enough money for the paint, Freddie said. We're naming our car the Blue Streak, Marty added. Good name, Goofy nodded as he walked away. Pluto watched Goofy go. Then he turned to Marty and Freddie. The boys were still busy with the car, but maybe they wasn't too busy to play ball with him. He ran and got his ball. Then he barked. Later, Pluto, Marty said. Then he then he tightened a wheel on the car. Pluto brought the ball over to the boxcar. He sat up and begged. We're busy now, said Freddie. We're doing important stuff. Go play someplace else for a while, okay? Pluto didn't know what to do next. What can a dog do when no one will play with him? He can take a nap, and that's exactly what Pluto decided to do. He found a nice shady spot on the porch. He lay down there in front of the doorway. Pluto closed his eyes for a few minutes. He heard the birds sing in the trees. Then he did not hear them. He was asleep. Suddenly, the door banged open. Mickey dashed out and tripped right over Pluto. Pluto yeeped and came wide awake. Mickey tumbled down the steps. For a second, he just sat there, frowned at Pluto. Pluto hung his head. He waited for Mickey to tell him it was all right. Instead, Mickey said, Silly dog, sleeping in the doorway. Mickey got up and brushed himself off. Next time you need a nap, go sleep in the doghouse, Mickey told Pluto. He went down the drive and stopped for a moment to tell the boys how nice their car looked. Then he walked down the street. Pluto did not try to follow Mickey. It was not the right time to follow Mickey. Instead, Pluto got the ball and started up the street. He waited to find someone who would play ball with him. Pluto passed by Donald Duck house, but Donald Duck was not out watering in his grass. Pluto passed by Daisy house, but Daisy was not out taking care of her roses. At last, Pluto came to the house where Minnie Mouse lived. He stopped. He went and scratched at Minnie's door. Perhaps she would come out and play with him. Suddenly, Pluto saw a bush by Minnie's house shaken. Something was hiding in the bushes. Could it be a robber? Or was some wild animal about to jump out at Minnie? Nothing would leap out at Minnie, not while Pluto was around to stop it. Pluto growled and jumped at the bush. But there was no robber, no wild animal. But there was only a tiny bird who had stopped to rest. The bird gave a chirp and flapped her wings. Minnie looked out her door and said, "Oh, Pluto, how could you scare such a pretty little thing?" But Pluto hadn't known that the thing in the bush was a bird. Poor Pluto, everything was going so wrong for him today. Pluto started to walk away, but Minnie went after him. "I think I'll just walk you home," she said. "That way you be sure to stay out of trouble." Pluto trotted mirthfully beside Minnie as she led him back to Maudie and Freddie. "I don't know what gotten into Pluto," Minnie told the boys. "He was chasing a poor little bird outside my house." "Pluto, did you really do that?" Maudie asked. "I'm surprised at you, Pluto," said Freddie. Then Molly and Freddie turned away. They were ready to try out their car at last. Pluto followed the boys to a hill near the house. He watched Molly get behind the wheel of the car. He saw Freddie push the car, then hop in. Away the two went down the hill. Now that looked like fun to Pluto. He raced after the car, barking like mad. Going uphill again was not such fun. The boys had to push the car every step of the way. Pluto decided to ride and jump into the car. "Pluto, get out," said Marty. "You're too heavy. We can't push you, we can't push with you in the car," said Freddie. Pluto did not understand. He could not do anything right today. So he took his ball and walked away. He walked to the park and played by himself. In the park, Pluto met a little boy who was patting his head. "Good doggy," said the little boy. Pluto put his ball down and barked. The boy picked up the ball and threw it. At last, someone who wanted to play ball, but the ball landed on top of a shed. Pluto could not reach it. The boy couldn't reach it either. "Too bad," said the boy, and he walked away. But there was only one thing to do. Pluto headed for home. Surely the boy was tired of the car by now. Surely they would come out and get the ball. But Marty and Freddie was not quite done with the car. However, when Pluto barked and headed for the park, they followed. Pluto led them to the shed. He barked at the roof. The boys saw the prom. "Okay, Pluto, we see the ball," said Freddie. "We'll get it for you," Marty told him. Marty climbed on Freddie's shoulder. He grabbed the ball and threw it to Pluto. Then he jumped down. "Hey, look," Freddie pointing to the sign near the shed. "Big box car race," said the sign. "All drivers invited, 2 p.m. today, Blackbill Hill." "A box car race?" cried Marty. "Today? And here we are with a brand new fast as lightning box car? What are we waiting for?" asked Freddie. "Let's go." Pluto and the boy raced back to Mickey House. They had left the box car in the drive, but now it was not there. There was nothing in the drive now but an order can and some tubes. "Where'd it go?" Marty asked, looking around. "Maybe Uncle Mickey came home and put it in the garage," offered Freddie. But the box car was not in the garage. "Maybe it rode out of drive and down the street," said Marty. They looked toward the bottom of the street, but the car was not there. "Could someone be mean enough to take the box car?" wondered Marty. "Maybe we should call the police," said Freddie. Then the boy saw Pluto acting strangely. He sniffed the ground. He raced up and down. Then he sniffed some more. "What are you doing, Pluto?" asked Marty. Pluto lifted his head and barked. He pointed with his nose as if to say, "This way." Then he barked again. "Oh, that's funny," laughed Marty. "Pluto thinks he's a detective dog. He's going to track a runaway boxcar. Do you think he really could?" asked Freddie. Oh, come on now, Marty laughed again. He's just a plain dog, not a detective or a hunting dog. But don't worry, Pluto, we love you anyway. You can stop pretending now, Marty said. But Pluto did not stop. He ran farther up the street. He barked and barked. Let's give him a chance, said Freddy. He wants us to follow him. Maybe he does know something after all. Well, okay, agreed Marty. We have nothing to lose. The boy trotted down the street after Pluto. They passed Dino House and Daisy House. They passed Minnie House, too. They went all the way to the house where Goofy lived. There stood Goofy with the boxcar. The car looked wonderful. It was painted in bright blue. Gosh, you caught me, said Goofy. I wanted to surprise you. I remember I had some fast drying blue paint. I'm almost done. I just have to put the name of wait, just have to put the name on Blue Streak like you want it. Thank Goofy, but we don't have time, said Marty. We have a boxcar race to win, cried Freddy. Better get better get going then, Goofy agreed. Boy started out of the driveway with the boxcar. Blue stood beside Goofy and watched. He did not try to go along. He did not want to do anything wrong. Suddenly the boy stopped and looked back. Hey, Pluto, come on, boy, called Marty. Stick with us, Pluto, said Freddy. Pluto scooted after Marty and Freddy. He followed them to Blackbill Hill. The race was lined up there. The race was about to start. Come on, Pluto, cried Freddy. Hop on. Be our mascot, said Marty. Pluto gave a Pluto gave a glad yip. He jumped into the car. Ready, get, set, go, shouted the starter. Down the hill they went. In seconds, Marty and Freddy pulled ahead of the other. Pluto felt the wind blowing his ears. The boys streaked across the finish line. We did it, shouted Freddy. We won, we won. Marty hugged Pluto. You brought us luck, Pluto. You're a winner, too. The judge awarded the gold trophy to the boys. Does your boxcar have a name? Asked one of the judges. We were going to call it the Blue Shriek, but maybe we won't, said Marty. Maybe Pluto Pride would be a better name. Marty looked at Freddy. What do you think? He asked. I think it's a great idea, announced Freddy. If it wasn't for Pluto, we wouldn't have won the race. Why, we wouldn't have even known there was a boxcar race. It's true, Marty added. Who would have guessed that Pluto would save the day? Pluto wagged his tail hard. He was happy. He had finally done something right that day. So that was Pluto in the big race for 1990. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a great day with another video coming out real soon.